Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenya Revolutionary for another session. As we continue in our series, it was a 3-day series, the AU chairperson position. That's where the battle is. We are looking at whether former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga, what are his chances of winning this AU seat as he faces an uphill, tough battle between him and the gentleman from Madagascar and the gentleman from Djibouti? Yesterday, we were shocked when we heard about the memo that was released on the 12th by the head of SADC, okay, Southern African Development Community, the 16 countries, that their leader urged them to vote for their candidate who is going to be the Madagascar head of Madagascar. The candidate from that hails from Madagascar. Okay, and most of us were scratching our heads, asking ourselves, where does that leave Raila Odinga if the voting bloc, the southern heads of states, are going to vote for the Madagascar president? Because if we are looking at the north, obviously, it doesn't look so promising, because the northern part might not be very happy with Kenya's position on Palestine, among other things, like Kenya's invasion of Somali a few years back. Okay, so yeah, hi Kipril. You saw some violence? No, that's just a itty bitty. Alex is what's his name? Alex Bundi, whatever the case is. It was nothing to me. Like, people don't offend me. I know he's emotional like a 12-year-old, so he said what he said, but I don't really care about that stuff. It doesn't even bother me. I'm too old for that. Like I say, Alex is somebody who doesn't like to be challenged, and if you challenge his point, he gets all emotional and act like a baby. So, but he showed his true colors. You see how when you make people mad, that's when you see their tribalistic nature. But it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing to me. Okay. But whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, so like I say, um, we are looking at how the possibility of Raila Odinga winning this AU seat, and it doesn't look good for him. It doesn't look good for him. I saw a couple of MPs who are up there in Ethiopia, and they sound optimistic. They're talking about, there might be something up. Hopefully come back to this channel. I mean, I might, but I don't know. I just feel like there's kind of some of these channels kind of look like a tribal thing, people just, but it's their channel. People run their channel how they want to run it, but when it kind of people start talking about listen, as much as I like Njiru's channel, I think it's you expect people's position. It's kind of known. It's like people are all overly tribalistic about their own thing. You can tell these people from central Kenya, and you can tell these people from Nyanza, and you just know their position. And before you know it, everyone starts talking about, oh yeah, nyi watu wa sijui nini, nyi watu wa whatever the case is. But again, that's also okay. It's okay if you want to run your channel that way. That's you. That's how you run it. I can't really tell you how to run your channel. So if you just going to whatever with that stuff, it's okay. Yeah, but one thing, listen, yeah, I can tell you have a surface level understanding of American politics because you don't know much about Trump. That's why you're arguing the way you're arguing. And if you want to talk about Trump, let's talk about it. I mean, all right, Trump is a racist. Tell me the same arguments. All right, let's start. Trump is a racist. Show me the evidence Trump is a racist. Did you see him on a KKK rally saying that we should kill black people? I mean, some of these arguments, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Let's talk about it. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Trump. You want to talk about Trump? Let's talk about Trump. I was just addressing what happened in another channel, and I felt like, you know, and I'm not saying that I can't blame it on Njiru or whatever. I mean, actually, shout out to PK, though. PK saw the nonsense, and he actually kicked out Alex. So shout out to PK. I'll support his channel. I'll probably go there, and I haven't subscribed yet, but I'll go there and subscribe. And everyone who's watching up there, PK Stone has a channel. Please go up there, and Njiru Mwaura. Like I say, to me, the vibe that I get every time I go to the other channel, that channel, it's like Luos versus Kikuyus, because the whole thing turned into, these people are not circumcised and these people are, which is just a bunch of baloney. The topic was supposed to be AU. And also, it's not my first time seeing this kind of vibe. But again, like I say, to me, I was shocked that somebody will say that and you still kind of talk about, oh, he can still come back. I don't know. If you come here and you talk about some racist, tribalistic stuff, you'll be shut down and you'll be blocked forever. I'm not letting that come over here. Speak your mind. Wherever you come from, I let everyone speak. Even Ruto supporters can come over here and speak and say whatever they want. Here, it's an open forum. Just keep it respectful. I don't care who you're proposing for. Even Kipril over here comes in and talk about Martha Karua. He knows how I feel about Martha Karua, but you can speak about her and say whatever you want to say. Of course, we are going to challenge you, but okay, whatever. So I believe in freedom of speech, so you can come here and say whatever you want to say. So other than that, I leave it where it's at. Like I say, to me, I just feel like some channels are more like there's a tinge of tribal bull that I'm not the vibe is off. But anyway, okay, Trump is suspended till Thank you for reminding me, Shi Miriam. Why is he lying on South Africa, about the land issue? Yeah, maybe he's not informed on the land issue. Yeah, and actually the person who triggered the land issue is actually Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is a white South African. So what do you expect? Okay, so yeah, but anyway, like I've been told. Yeah, I mean, I know you can't talk about Martha Karua with me because I will hold your feet on fire. I'm not just gonna let you say that Martha Karua is all this wonderful person who have been championing the rights of women and all that bullcrap. I will challenge that and I will show you how corrupt she's been. And I know you don't like that. But I will let you say what you need to say. But I will challenge what you're telling us. That's the difference. Nobody gets a pass here. All these Kenyan politicians, they don't get a pass. Raila doesn't get a pass. Ruto doesn't get a pass. Martha Karua does not get a pass. Matiang'i does not get a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Because we are trying to be, at least, try to be as objective as possible. And I start with myself. Okay? So if you come here and tell me about Martha Karua, I will listen to you. But I will challenge what you're saying. But if you decide not to talk about Martha Karua, that's fine. There's no problem. It's your choice. I mean, I just don't like living in denial. Like I see a lot of Kenya, just like Raila Odinga and Ruto and Kenyatta, how they live in denial. Last year, Raila was this great person. This year, oh my God, he's a conman. Wow, you just discovered that? Same thing. Kenyatta was such a terrible president during his presidency. Now that he's off, he's not a president anymore. Oh, wow, Kenyatta was such a great president. He never had corruption. He had development. You see what I'm saying? I can't live in hypocrisy. I have to call it out the way it is. That's the difference. I'm not living in this fake, whatever, tribalistic nonsense. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Right is right. Period, point blank. Okay? Nani ameona speech ya Ruto vile anataka kujifanyisha na Traore and humbling himself on a hypocrisy level? No, I haven't seen the Ninio yet. I haven't seen the I haven't seen the what is it called? Ruto speech. But Ruto, listen. Now this is, and that brings us to segue to the what I really wanted to talk about. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm trying to imagine life or Kenyan politics post this AU brouhaha. Let's examine what happens, for the sake of argument. What happens when Raila makes it to the AU? I'm just giving an example. The chances don't look that his chances don't look that well, but how will the Kenyan politics look with Raila at AU? How does the Kenyan political scene look like? Okay, that's what I was trying to I'm trying to look at today. All right, if he goes to AU, does that really plays to Ruto's advantage? As much as many might think that, oh, Ruto will automatically harvest Nyanza province vote and the Western province vote, I don't think so. I don't think so. Actually, I think Ruto will be more vulnerable with Raila away at AU than with Raila in Kenya. Because now there'll be nobody to come save his behind. Remember, the last time when the Gen Z were about to take him out, who came to his rescue? Raila Odinga. I mean, the same thing happened in 2017 when the ODM, whatever the case is, went and sworn in Raila Odinga. I mean, the next step was to go to remove Uhuru Kenyatta by popular revolution. Who came and saved his behind? Raila Odinga. So that's why I'm arguing with the absence of Raila Odinga in the political scene, because trust me, once he becomes the head of AU, in case he does become that, he will have no time to come and meddle in Kenyan politics. A lot of you guys probably think that, oh, if he becomes the AU chair, he will have time to come and give his weekly address, and standing on top of a rooftop, the car roof, whatever the case is, and addressing people or calling on press conference. No, that job is a really, really busy. We keep him busy. He will have no time to address the Kenyan issue, because now he's dealing with diplomatic issues. He has to kind of corral all these heads of state, meeting with them and their representative, addressing issues like Congo and all that stuff, the South African issue. It's just a bunch of stuff. He will have no time to come in and talk about the Kenyan problems, okay, or intervene. Karibu sana Pritika Kaurshi Mariam, karibu sana. So that's what I'm talking about. So when we think that, oh, Raila going to AU will actually give Ruto some leeway to do whatever he wants, I do not think so. I think he will be more vulnerable, and if there's any grassroots revolutionary movement like we saw with the Gen Z who are ready to take him out, I think he might suffer what comes to him, and he might be taken out by force. So yeah. But anyway, so that's what I think. I mean, like I said, that is what that's what I see it. Okay. Shimariam said, tafuta hiyo speech and watu from other countries supporting him. Nimewashambulia nikawaambia Ruto will harvest their organs and sell them to the West. Yeah. Yes, organ harvesting is a real thing, actually. Did you know that organ harvesting makes more money than any sports in the world? It's a very real thing. I mean, people get murdered, and when their body is taken to the morgue, there's nothing in their body, like everything, their organs. Yeah, they'll sell your legs, elbows, everything, heart, kidney. It's a cold world out there. So yeah, that's real. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, the sabotager, ladies and gentlemen, are in, so we know what's up. Uh, we stay vigilant and we still talk about what we want to talk about. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, Ruto's chances, Ruto's chances, um, Ruto's survival with Raila's absence, will be very thin. He those of you who are assuming that he'll actually do well, you are in for a shock. You are in for a shock. Actually, Ruto needs Raila more in Kenya than anything else. So if I was him, I would try to sabotage Raila's chances. But yeah, but either way, because look at it like this: if Raila comes back, to from AU and comes back to Kenya, all right, what will happen is this: Raila probably will grow in stature. Of course, he's a larger than life figure in Kenya, whatever the case is, for whatever reason. First of all, I don't think he's that popular, but still, he commands some support. Okay, following. Okay, a reasonable following. So Raila coming back to Kenya, his party already taking the majority position in the Parliament, National Assembly, and probably in the Senate too. That will be leverage that Raila will use to have Ruto do what he wants, which is the implementation of the what? NADCO recommendations that they wanted. NADCO recommendation is basically government of national unity. They just want to make it law, so it's legal. Okay. Yeah, Naika predictions and Doto. Yeah. My opinion. So whatever. But yeah. So that's why I'm saying, Ruto will, if he wants to maintain power, he has a better chance maintaining power of this whole NADCO thing by having Raila Odinga in Kenya than Raila Odinga being the AUC chair. Okay? Because the Raila being in the AU, like I said, he will have no one to back him up, backing Ruto up in case he faces another onslaught by the Gen Zs. I mean, I don't know how much this coalition of Wamunyoro and Eugene Wamalwa and all these clowns, I don't know how effective they'll be. I don't think they'll be much effective because I think a lot of Kenyans are looking at them like recycled rags. So I don't think there will be much of a threat. But one thing is for sure though, if Raila is back in Kenya, if Ruto's regime faces any threat of a popular revolution or something like that, he can always have Raila Odinga to come back him up. Somebody who has, kind of a following. Cows, the ODM cows, as you Tibaba will demand. Yeah, like I say, people are talking about. There are a lot of people who are talking about not Wetangula, Otiende Amolo taking Wetangula's seat. So that's maybe in the works. Because listen, these people, they always started something as a rumor. Then it comes to reality. We had some months back, we heard about Wetangula possibly getting removed from his position, that Ruto wanted him out to be replaced by sorry. A month back, we had the rumors about Ruto wanting Wetangula out and have Otiende Amolo to replace Wetangula. And we just had it as a rumor. And now, months later, after the court ruling, and this is why I'm saying I suspect that the courts are still, the judiciary works in tandem hand in hand with Ruto, the juris pesa. So now all of a sudden the court rules that Azimio is the majority. So naturally, Wetangula will have to vacate that seat. So it makes sense to me, okay? It makes sense to me that, these things are in the works. So these guys, it's kind of like they start a rumor just to prepare, okay? I call it predictive conditioning. They start that rumor that, remember, even Rigathi Gachagua, when they wanted to remove Rigathi Gachagua, they started with a rumor. They were like, oh, there's a rumor that Rigathi Gachagua is going to be impeached. And then we saw it happen, okay? Gatti is saying Kalonzo will be back, Raila 2027, I suspect. Absolutely. I believe that too. I think, to me, I also believe that Raila is going to lose this AU seat. I don't think he's going anywhere. He'll be back and he will join the gang. And he'll be back and he'll start talking about 2027 or, whatever the case is with us. Like I said, the NADCO report, the change of the constitution, at least the attempt to change the constitution will be there. So, don't be surprised, Baba wakifunga ndoa na Wamunyoro. Maybe I don't see it, but in Kenya you never know. I just don't see it. I don't know. But again, like I said, in Kenya they started, these guys, this political class, they have planned ahead. They know what's coming. They know what's in their plan, in the works. So as soon as they want to implement something, they will drop a leak, okay, a hint, by leaking their plan, telling us that, oh, there's a rumor that Ruto wants to remove Wetangula, okay? And then 2 months down the line, the court decides how it decides, and all of a sudden we're talking about Wetangula leaving his position as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Actually, I think when he leaves, if he was taking, once he steps down, I think Shole will take over for a while Azimio gets to choose whoever they choose, okay? So, and I think it's going to be at Otiende Amolo, as we've had the rumors for a while now, okay? Ruto is frustrating Weta because he has refused to fold his party like Mudavadi. Probably, yeah. Again, Wetangula, Wetangula needs to go. By law, he needs to actually step down. So, Mrs. How juicy after Parliament drama, they said Wamunyoro Express. Yeah, I think the Azimio are actually, like I said, Azimio, as of right now, they have a upper hand and they try to manipulate this guy, Ruto. And that's what's going to happen. Again, I'm telling you, once Raila comes back to Kenya, that's exactly what's going to happen. He will push and force Ruto, knowing that he has the numbers in the parliament, and he will force Ruto to actually see to it that this NADCO thing will go to a referendum, because Raila has always wanted, like I say, this guy, he cares about a position. He cares about, a plum position where he has bodyguards, red carpet, and motorcade, where he goes somewhere and people clap for him and call him Baba Teringeni and all this. This is what he likes. That's the whole thing about this AU thing. Raila Odinga doesn't go to AU because he's not vying for AU because he's a Pan-Africanist. And I hate this whole term Pan-Africanist has lost its meaning. I actually hate the term. It's so nonsensical, okay? I think it's a fad for every black man nowadays to say, I'm a Pan-Africanist. If you ask them what's really meaning of what does it mean to be a Pan-Africanist? I mean, it's so overly used, and it's irritating to me personally if somebody describes themselves a Pan-Africanist, Afro-optimist. I mean, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, this guy Raila Odinga just likes the trappings of power, the motorcade, the red carpets, the claps, the applauding of him. Oh, great African lion, whatever the case is. And people are praising him. He's an idle man. He doesn't have anything to do. He's freaking 80 years old for crying out loud. Okay? So like I said, if he comes back and he misses on that AU, he will arm twist Ruto into, getting into that, having him go to having the country, Ruto and members of parliament, to make this whole thing where we can have a plebiscite, where we can have a referendum. And like I say, I always draw parallels between Ruto's administration and Kibaki administration. Kibaki administration, the first, and it's so funny because Ruto himself says that, the first 2 years of Ruto, mid-second year, Ruto is facing some challenges where they are talking about actually removing him. His administration is at the mercy of the opposition. Same thing with Kibaki. Kibaki got in there in 2002. By 2005, he had dropped out, and he had a huge opposition who were trying to remove him. Okay, so come 2027, just like 2007, unfortunately, and actually in 2005, midterms, halfway through the first term of Kibaki, he faces a referendum in November 2005. We're in 2025, 20 years later, there was rumors of a possible referendum. And if I was to guess, I would say in 2025, November, we might have a referendum after Raila Odinga loses the AU seat tomorrow. So we're about to find out what happens, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see what will come of it. So in my submission, I would say that Ruto actually needs Raila Odinga in Kenya than Raila Odinga in AUC, for the simple fact that if there was another onslaught by the Gen Zs, a protest, a popular revolution in attempt to actually remove Ruto, this time Ruto might not have anyone to come rescue him like Raila did. So that's why I say it will be better for Ruto to have Raila back in Kenya for his survival, because either way, these guys will be controlling the parliament, they'll be controlling the Senate, and probably the Speaker of the House. And once the ground starts shifting away from Ruto, even Kwame might even think otherwise and might turn against Ruto. So it will be in his best interest to keep Raila Odinga by his side, just in case something like that happens. Raila can always summon his demonic followers to come and rescue the day. Okay. Gati Seli, we don't have any good candidates in Kenya. Karua is a snake. Ruto is a liar. Kalonzo is an opportunist. Absolutely. Like I said, all these political rags, these recycled people, the coalition of I don't know who, Wamunyoro. Again, look at the coalition. It's Matiangi, Kalonzo, Wamalwa, Karua, Gachagua, Ferdinand Waititu, who is supposed to be doing a jail time. Wamalala, I don't know, Malala, whatever the case his name is. I mean, this is a bunch of losers, non-corrupt criminals. Martha Karua is a freaking puppet. I even mentioned, of all the people, Martha Karua and Boniface Mwangi are the last ones. Never said anything about the USAID. I kept on telling you, go back and look at David D's tweet when one day he got pissed and started exposing Martha Karua and Boniface Mwangi, saying that they received money from actually Ruto. And I've been telling you, Martha Karua, and I know Kip is up here, and I tell him, and I probably, because Kip is also a Kikuyu like Martha Karua, that's why he supports Martha. I tell him, Martha Karua is a puppet of the West. This woman has been receiving money from the West for a long time. That's why he's relevant. He's no different from Ruto, Uhuru, and Raila Odinga. Okay? If you look at Boniface, I'm telling you, this is why they hang out. Martha Karua, Boniface, and Omtata, they receive money from NGOs. And I've been telling you guys, NGOs in Kenya, non-governmental organizations like the Ford Foundation, USAID, these are CIA, deep state stuff, okay, organizations that are used to funnel money to actually promote a certain agenda. Boniface Mwangi promotes LBGDQ, whatever, ST. Martha Karua does the same. Onkio Mtata does the same. Is it a coincidence? And of all the people, when the USAID argument was happening, was hot in Kenya, you never had Martha Karua say anything. You never had Boniface Mwangi say anything. They took pictures with Bill Gates. You see them cheesing it up with Bill Gates. These are sellouts, Western sellouts. Martha Karua is a Western sellout, is a Western puppet pretending to be standing up for human rights. Okay, I have to tell you these things. I know it's a difficult pill to swallow, but it has to be said. They are no different from Matiangi, who has hired a freaking Canadian whatever to help him with his campaign. Okay, Eugene Malwa. I don't think even his family members will vote for him for anything. Okay, that's why I'm telling you guys, if we're going to look at these candidates, we have to look at somebody who is not compromised, like this bunch of recycled puppets of the West who are pretending to be offering something new. How long has these politicians been in the Kenyan political scene? Okay, that's what I keep on telling you. Yes, she was involved. She took the money. How do you think she became rich? And it was British American Tobacco Company. Like I keep on telling you guys, I don't know why you keep on playing with these issues. We cannot play with issues about this. But I think, we know better. She had a hand in the post-election violence in 2007. She caused it because she was one of those who took an intransigent position, knowing very well Kibaki lost, and she stood there, making the country erupt into violence. So she has blood on her hand. But here you are in 2025, you're out here trying to convince us that this is the candidate that should be championing the woman, I don't know what. And of all the things, she agreed to deputize the position of a deputy president if conman Raila Odinga was to become president. It says a lot about her character. So we are not going to run away from the truth. We shall say it boldly, and we shall say it in your face. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a tribalist or not, we are going to tell you the truth. Nobody gets a pass. We don't care about tribalism. We want a better Kenya, and it has to start with us when we have this political exchange here in platforms like this. However small this platform is, however big, it doesn't matter. We are going to have a well-balanced, clean conversation about our country. We cannot recycle or promote these very corrupt political Western puppets. We cannot, and we will not, and we shall not. Whether you like it or not, whether you try to take down this channel, whether you try to hack into this channel, whether you try to sabotage this channel, whether you try to leak information, send people, do whatever you are, we shall speak the truth. Whether one person is watching or 10 people are watching or 1,000 people are watching, the truth shall be said. Martha Karua is a corrupt Western puppet who has blood in her hands, took part into this whole violence that happened in 2007. We shall say that. Yes, we shall say it, whether you like it or not. Sabotaging this channel will not help you, my friend. I'm sorry. And it will take you time to heal. I know that. When I was telling you guys Raila Odinga was a conman in 2017 in Mutembe, oh, you kicked me out with your friend Bernard. Okay? Pastor Bernard. Some people should even call themselves pastors. You know, in 2007, I told you Raila Odinga was a conman. You were so hype about Raila Odinga. Okay? Throwing epithets at me. Saying all sorts of nasty things while I told you. Just because she was in one team with Martha Karua. I told you then. Years later, you saw the light. Now you see that Raila Odinga is a conman. The same thing I'm telling you with Karua. Karua is a con woman. A bloodthirsty Western puppet who receives money from the Western organizations, like you say. So, my friend, even if you hack into my gadgets, try to sabotage this channel to promote other, you're not going to win. You cannot fight the truth. It can take 100 years, but we'll make it to the block. We'll still tell the truth. We're not here because we want likes and views and all that stuff. That's wonderful. But we're doing so for the love of our country. Because we want to create a Kenya that is good for our kids. We grew up not caring about tribalism. It didn't matter if you are Luo. It didn't matter when you're Kikuyu. It didn't matter if you are Luya. It didn't matter if you're Maasai. Even as we grew under the regime of Moi. But as children, we never grew up with that kind of tribalistic thinking. So now you become an adult, and now you want to start all this tribal nonsense. You can't engage. When you're challenged, you take it personal. You want to sabotage somebody. You want to hack somebody. You want to embarrass somebody. You want to destroy somebody's life because you can't win an argument in an intellectual manner. This is what I'm talking about. Then you have the audacity to call Ruto a tribalist while you're doing the very same thing Ruto is doing. That's why I tell you, I cannot live in hypocrisy. If I am going to call the Ruto a tribalist, I have to make sure that I have no tribalistic bone in me. You have to cleanse yourself out of that before you actually go ahead and point your finger at the other. That's what I'm saying. But you cannot come here and pretend that you're this community, but you're a member of the other community, so you can abuse that community. We have to be real. So, my friends, as you're worried about your butt hurt about the truth that is being spoken, go ahead and hack as much as you can, sabotage this channel as much as you can. But let me tell you something. Judgment is coming your way. Judgment is coming your way. That's one thing I can promise you. Judgment is coming your way. Judgment is coming your way. You see your friend over there? Let me preach today. I feel like preaching. Oh, I feel it. Your friend over there, the fake pastor, or maybe he's a pastor, I don't know. You see, people who call themselves men of God, you know, if you are a true believer, a faithful, somebody who believes in a true living God, the Christian God, and that's nothing about people who are who don't prescribe it to Christianity. But I'm saying this. You cannot create a platform where you discriminate, kick people out because they don't share your view. Okay? Especially people who want to share the frustration, share the experience, share the perspective, share their view. Anyway, so hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sorry guys. Our parents too are other problems we have about tribalism. No matter how hard we are trying to fight it. Absolutely. We are trying to fight tribalism. And again, as I was mentioning, people, you see, when we start having a conversation, if you're going to have an honest conversation, some of us don't come with clean hands to the table. You pick someone because it's from your community. Okay? While that might be okay because that's your democratic right, but if you're going to have an intellectual discussion and reason, even the Bible say, come we reason together. Let's sit down. Let's look at these candidates that you are putting up. What is the history? What have they been involved with? What are their moves? You see what I'm saying? You saw another channel with a pastor, a certain pastor, kicking people out, doing all sorts of things. Judgment came up to him. Judgment. Go look at his channel. What is he left with? It's dead. It's dead. No one cares. And that's why I keep on telling you, this is a marathon. This is a fight over good, over evil. Good versus evil. Have a pure heart. Clean hands when you're having these discussions. Some of you come here. You've hacked into my stuff. You even try to be slick, naming the names of my loved ones. You think that's going to threaten me? Oh, you have no idea what's coming for you. You have no idea. I told you my exchange with that imbecile in another channel who resorted into tribalistic abuse doesn't bother me. I already know that. That's not the first time that guy did that. I know that. He's somebody who can't control his feelings. He's a child to me. An intellectual infant. Zygote, if I may. I'm sorry I have to go in this tandem because this tangent, because people lose perspective of why we do what we do. That's just a simple this is not a competition between whose channel is better, who sounds smarter, who's getting more views. Fine, if that's what you're pursuing, God bless you. May you succeed. Let me tell you something. I have fire in my belly. Fire that I cannot restrain myself when I speak. So while you hack into my stuff, try to stop me, you will not be able to contain the fire in my belly. Fire for the love of Kenya. That's why nobody gets a pass. That's why I started this channel. Because I saw the tribalistic nature of some of you pretending, camouflaging yourselves as pastors. Try to pretend that you want a better Kenya. I'm not driven by what is driving you, brother. You have to kill the fire in my belly to stop what I'm trying to do. And the tables is about to turn, my friend. Because what you did to me, I'll stop there for legal reasons. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to engage, come to the table with clean hands. Okay? Don't think that you're clever because you hack into my stuff. Don't think that you're intimidating me in any way. You are not. In fact, you are getting me excited. I laugh. I laugh because you're trying to stop a fire that you cannot quench. That's the difference between me and you. You can get offended now, but later, hopefully, if your eyes are open, you will understand. But keep it on. Go ahead and throw insults. Hack. Find out more that you can do. Leak them if you want to leak. But let me tell you something. When that day comes, please, don't ask for mercy. Don't ask for mercy. When judgment comes, don't ask for mercy, because you will get none. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, I got beside myself. The topic was AU. I simply feel Ruto is best served in his corrupt enterprise with Raila at home rather than having Raila in AU. As I've mentioned, if Raila goes to AU, his hands will be tied to a point where he will not be able to participate in local Kenyan politics. Meanwhile, Ruto, without Raila in Kenya, he will be defenseless. There will be nobody to come rescue him if there is any kind of popular revolution. In fact, let me say this, and I was thinking about this. Raila is better off in Kenya than in AUC. Because we've always said, I've said this time and time over, as this political class stoke more fire, puts more wood in the fire, stoking this tribal division that you see some of it spew in these channels. As they do that, if we are to go to 2027, we might have a repeat of 2007 tribal clashes. We might descend into a civil war. And I'm afraid with Raila's absence, Raila is a corrupt politician. He is a corrupt politician, very corrupt. One of the biggest conmen in the history of Kenya. But regardless, even though he's corrupt, I think to some extent, this kind of handshake that he gets involved with, they avoid, it stops some level of bloodshed. It kind of does. It does stop some bloodshed in Kenya. Because if you remember, Ruto was cornered by the Gen Zs. Ruto did not know who was behind the Gen Zs. So he was all over. But at some point, Ruto resorted back to what he knows best, which is tribal politics. He started blaming Wamunyoro, and he started blaming the Kikuyus, failing to understand that it was his policies and his failed policies that actually got him cornered. And by him pointing at the Kikuyu people, he was basically wanted to start targeting them. In fact, there was a neighborhood where he actually sent some forces where people were killed. Okay? Some young folks, one neighborhood, on that June 25th day of June, or the next day. People were being killed at night. Lots of people. Lots of young youth. Okay? And this is what's going to happen. With the absence of Raila Odinga, if it really goes, if there's nothing, no handshake to quell the situation. I'm not saying that I am pro handshake. I do not agree with handshakes by any means. This might lead to a total disaster. Chaos. Chaos, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm saying Ruto is better off with Raila in Kenya than Raila in AU. But 2027, if we are to get there, ladies and gentlemen, based on this tribal abracadabra division that we have, we might be facing something similar to 2007. And this time it will be worse. That's why I urge people to be responsible. It is better off to support the Gen Zs who represent Kenya. Like I say, Gen Z is not an age group. Gen Z is a representation of all Kenyans of all tribes, young and old, who want a new Kenya divorced from the old political relics elites. We want a new Kenya that respects the constitution that we have. Not a tribalistic, corrupt system, but a Kenya that works for all. Don't ask, who shall we front and vote for? Ask, when Ruto, how Ruto can be taken out immediately. Once we take him out, we can always choose a leader of our own who respects the constitution. The system is rotten from the executive to the legislative body to the judiciary. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you fail the Gen Zs, let me tell you, if you fail the Gen Zs, judgment shall come to you. I'm telling you. Because all these coalitions, they shall not remove Ruto. I'll tell you that. They will not remove Ruto. Ruto has the corrupt system on lock. And he's willing to spill blood if he even suspects that certain community is trying to take his power from him. The only way is to defeat him through a popular revolution, when all of us Kenyans, from northeastern to central to western to Nyanza to coast to Rift Valley, all the former provinces, all the tribes come together and hit the streets and say, we want a new Kenya respecting the constitution. Lakini mkizidi kucheza hii mchezo ya ukabila, ati unataka sijui wa Munyoro, sijui unataka Karua, sijui unataka Raila, sijui unataka sijui nani, na mnaendelea na hii mchezo ya ukabila, my friend, mimi nawaambia, I tell you, I gain nothing by telling you this, besides a few likes ambayo hainilipi, but nawaambia ukweli. It is for the love of Kenya. Do it for the love of Kenya. Let's get back to when we used to care about each other. Because if you know, sometimes I would like for you to go and look at those videos of post-election violence and hear the interviews by the young men, kids, not even young men. You know, once you have a kid, you look at life differently. I saw a 12-year-old boy say, mimi nilikuwa nacheza na Omondi hapa, nilikuwa nacheza na hapa Kinyu hapa. He was my neighbor. We used to play soccer together, football together. Tunacheza pamoja. Election ikaanza, I couldn't believe it if I saw baba nani anataka ameshika panga anataka kutuua. And they've been neighbors for a while, for a long time. Seeing a 12-year-old boy tell you that in an interview after the post-election violence, it touches your heart because he grew up innocent. It was fun. I used to play with Kisis, Luos, Kikuyus, and all that stuff. Luyas, Masais, whatever. But when the post-election violence started, these guys turned on me. They burnt our houses. They hacked my mother to death. These are the stories when you listen to, you'll understand the grave nature of what politics, how politics can go wrong. But you guys keep on supporting these politicians who are stoking these fires because you seem to have forgotten what 2007 brought. The victims to this day are very quiet. And they never speak up because the trauma that they've experienced, they know it. Lakini nyinyi ambayo mko safe, mko huko mbali, your family is okay, nyinyi ndio mnataka hii video wale watu wasijui wapi watu chezeni na hiyo mchezo, keep on playing. That's why I urge you, it's better off we as a people change the system rather than this political tribal coalition versus that political tribal coalition. Because guess what? One will have to lose. And the community that is associated with this coalition shall suffer because of this. And that's what happened in 2007. It is unfortunate. We don't want a repeat of that. We cannot have that. I will be here every day speaking what's real, what's truth, because I don't want a repeat of that. Do you know these Gen Z are the victims of the horrific time? That's why they don't want to hear anything that's associated with the tribe. Yes. The Gen Z had a glimpse of it when they were shot down and their bodies being found. This is what we have to understand, people. It's easy. Lakini nyinyi mnafikiria yeye ukabila itawapeleka mahali. You try to hide it. Kwa hizo channel zenu. Mkikasirika ndio, that's when you see the real you. Mnaanza kusema vitu ambavyo very unfortunate. But endeleeni, it's okay. Endeleeni. Mimi si Mungu wenu. I'm just sharing with you. Tutaona pale itawafikisha. It's not going to be a good place. Hold your brother's hand to fight a corrupt system. Your brother and your sister from another community. Let's look at this. Let's fight the system, not each other. Fight the system, not each other. You are not doing me a favor or doing your community a favor or doing your friend a favor by sabotaging my channel, by hacking into my channel because you don't like what I do here. You are not doing a favor. Ni uchungu yako na ego yako. But you're not doing anyone a favor, not even you. Because at the long run, you'll see what I'm saying. Sa ile nyumba zimeanza kuchomeka, ndio utajua mambo ikwaje. When people are being hacked down, I don't know if you've seen these images. That's when you realize, kumbe, but it was too late. So, shauri yenu. Like God usually gives people choices. This is the way. Fuata yako kukitaka, lakini ndio the way. So the choice is us Kenyans. Me personally, the fire that I have, I will fight for what's right. A tribeless, leaderless, whatever less, so we can have a new Kenya. That's my fight. I want the constitution to be respected. I want every community to be respected. I want to respect everyone. If you notice, nowadays I don't even cuss. Nimewacha. Ile kukaskasa nilikuwa na kasa hapa nikikuja nikizungumza hapa nimekaa chini. Because I want to take the diplomatic route. Talk to people. We can exchange. I will challenge you, but I will do so respectfully. Because I know. Ndio maana unaona wakina Labana hata wakikuja hapa wakituambia mambo ya Ruto, I listen. And sometimes they say something very reasonable. Okay? But anyway, enough preaching. I've been preaching for 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. I'll be back probably later or tomorrow as we are going to have a special coverage for the AU at its as it unveils, we see if Raila Odinga will make it there. Shimariama ananiambia my neighbor is Mijikenda, sijui atakuwaje when that repeats itself. Let us love each other and be our brother's keeper. We should not fight because of a few greedy people. Amen, amen, sister. That is so wonderful. Me, that's what it reminded me. I saw a young 12-year-old boy saying, mi nilikuwa nacheza na nani hapo, alikuwa jirani. Then when the nonsense started, he was shocked. The boy was actually disappointed, in tears, that the family that was friends with his friend walimgeuka ati wanachoma nyumba yake. See what I'm saying? We can't let this. Hii ndio Kenya mnataka, just because mnataka ati sijui Raila akwaye sijui president hapa, sijui Ruto akwaye president, sijui Uhuru, sijui Wamunyoro, sijui Karua, sijui all these useless people who have caused a lot of bloodshed and pain in Kenya, na mnawarudisha because you think maybe ati akikuwa hapo hata wewe pia utapata cheo, ama wewe sijui utapata hiyo sifa ati our people in the power. Ile ujinga unaona Gladys Wanga anasifanya huko ati sijui we are in government now, sijui nini. We have to fight this, and it's your choice. You don't have to. Me, I will do it because that's what I feel. That's the fire I have in me. I've met wonderful people like Shima Riam and others in this channel. Yeah? We started out with 0. 1 people, 2 people. Captain who used to come to my channel just to say hi and make me laugh. And I still spoke what I spoke because I believe in it. So even if I have 1 person watching, it's fine. YouTube ikinilipa ni sawa, wasiponilipa pia ni sawa, tutaendelea. Kwa sababu mimi nafanya kwa sababu nimependa nchi yangu Kenya. Kenya ni home. Basi Taru Stolas. Kenya ni home. Sasa hata mkikuja na hii kabila yenu mnatuambia hivi ni sawa. Sisi tutaendelea na kazi. Tutagombana hapa juu ya hii sijui nini, but the next day tutaendelea. Vile moja alikuwa anasema, kama nimekukosea unisamee na whatever the case is. And we endelea, but the fire must keep on burning. The fire of righteousness. What is right is right. Hata kama hao mapasta wanatutupa nje kwa channel zingine, it's okay, we shall continue. Tutaanza channel yetu na tuendelee. Wacha waendelee na channel zao wakisema vile wanaona. Hata hao pia, it's democracy. That is the essence of it. I am not the only one who loves Kenya. There are millions of people who love Kenya. Why can't we fight for what's right together? Instead, try to sabotage each other. But ni shauri yenu. Anyway, I felt like that's a catharsis. I was in a therapy session. I felt good taking it out of my stomach. Nimetoa yote kwa kifua. Hata zingine zimebaki lakini nitatoa baadaye. Get a proper perspective of why people do what they do. Get that understanding before you try to sabotage somebody's channel, hack into their system, trying to humiliate them. Get a proper perspective. Anyway, wacha niwaache na hapo. It's been an hour. Thank you so much. Shimariam, asante sana. Gati, thank you so much for being here. Jonah, I remember you from way back. I don't know. Yeah, with your Donald Trump. Yeah, come next week tutaongea Donald Trump, okay? And others who have been watching in Ninio. Kwa uko Ninio. Keep pia, even though we have our difference, and yeah, but you know, you're always welcome ukuje utoe maoni yako, you know. Even though hatuoni eye to eye on Martha Karua, but you are free to come. Ni sawa tu. Anyway, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings, and be safe wherever you are.